Welcome to Africa channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to help us.
The AVTR concept isn't blue, but it is the product of a relationship between Mercedes and the AVTR series announced at the keynote presentation at the 2020 Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas by the luxury automaker's honcho, Ola Källenius. Källenius even called Cameron Jim instead of James. Pretty cute. Mercedes hitched its wagon to Cameron's and, by extension, the box office crushing AVTR franchise because the movies touch on themes of sustainability, environmental preservation, and a connection between human and machine, the exact themes designers toyed with when dreaming up the AVTR concept. Mercedes named the concept Vision AVTR, not Vision Avatar, because apparently Cameron owns the word and, we assume, didn't feel like sharing it. Plus, smashed up words bereft of non-essential consonants and vowels are so in these days. The AVTR concept isn't blue, but it is the product of a relationship between Mercedes and the AVTR series announced at the keynote presentation at the 2020 Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas by the luxury automaker's honcho, Ola Källenius. Källenius even called Cameron Jim instead of James. Pretty cute. Mercedes hitched its wagon to Cameron's and, by extension, the box office crushing AVTR franchise because the movies touch on themes of sustainability, environmental preservation, and a connection between human and machine, the exact themes designers toyed with when dreaming up the AVTR concept. Mercedes named the concept Vision AVTR, not Vision Avatar, because apparently Cameron owns the word and, we assume, didn't feel like sharing it. Plus, smashed up words bereft of non-essential consonants and vowels are so in these days. Inspired by the blockbuster Avatar movie, Benz's AVTR is all about the environment. Concept cars and films go oh so well together, don't they? The R8 previewing Audi RSQ and I, Robot comes to mind, as does Iron Man's Acura NSX Roadster in The Avengers, or James Bond's stunning Aston Martin DB10 and 2015 Spectre. Mercedes is taking things a step further with the Vision AVTR, which isn't in a movie but is inextricably linked to the movies, specifically, James Cameron's Avatar films. You know, the CGI heavy ones with the blue alien people in them. Mercedes is leaning heavily into the sustainability theme, not just with the materials used in the AVTR, which include vegan Dynamica leather and wood floors from sustainably sourced, fast-growing palm stems, but allegedly with its whole business moving forward. Källenius's Ambition 2039 plan for Mercedes-Benz aims to have a fully sustainable, closed-loop, carbon-neutral fleet of vehicles by the end of the next decade, and extend that philosophy all the way down the production line. So, for as ambitious as the AVTR concept may be, the ethos and thinking it represents might be even more so. Can't hurt, then, to kick it off with a car named after one of the highest-grossing films of all time, huh? Anyway, the concept looks not years into the future, but decades into the future. The word future appears a staggering 48 times in the AVTR's press release, which might seem absurd until you consider just how forward-thinking the car really is. There is no steering wheel. You control the car instead via a Mercedes-branded nub in the center console that resembles the little red rubber joystick on Lenovo's ThinkPad laptops. Mercedes claims this furthers the AVTR's theme of natural connection, and that it was inspired by the Avatar movie's Na'vi people, the blue aliens, and the way they could literally plug into their surroundings using their ponytails. Källenius even goes so far as to declare the concept car is less of a machine and more of a living organism in its own right. There are 33 scaly bionic flaps on the rear end that react to the environment like hairs standing up on the back of an animal's neck. They twitch the entire time the car spent on stage at CES. The concave, reclined seats are inspired by the giant leaf hammocks in which the Na'vi people sleep. Even the battery that powers the all-wheel drive, electric AVTR uses a compostable organic cell chemistry. It delivers over 400 miles of range. Instead of a traditional dashboard or gauge cluster, in the AVTR, critical information is projected onto a T-shaped surface that extends from the center console to the dash via a projector embedded in the headliner. There's no recognizable user interface either. Stuff is projected onto the driver's raised hand and manipulated and controlled by gestures. Källenius said that this intuitive gesture control is less like learning sign language, ahem, BMW, and more like communicating with something that knows what you want. Oh, and don't think we were going to skip talking about those wheels. They're semi-spherical omnidirectional rollers, as if Benz would consider mere wheels, with a tiny contact patch to minimize the car's impact on its surroundings. Those rollers also enable the AVTR to crawl around in odd directions like a crab. It's pretty wacky. Inspired by one of the most popular sci-fi films ever, this otherworldly concept car could hold clues on future Mercedes models. Imagine a vehicle unconstrained by earthly limitations, one inspired by a distant planet where traffic does not exist and sustainability pervades. Driver and machine connect symbiotically, eliminating trivialities like steering wheels and pedals. We just drove, or, at least, attempted to drive, such a car, the Mercedes-Benz Vision AVTR. Unveiled in early 2020 at the Consumer Electronics Show, the Vision AVTR is a creative collaboration between Mercedes-Benz and Lightstorm Entertainment, filmmaker James Cameron's production company behind AVTR, that 2009 sci-fi epic where towering blue aliens defend their lush homeworld of Pandora from resource-plundering human invaders. Unlike other movie cars, the Vision AVTR never appears on screen, but its futuristic approaches and bizarre driving experience would score it a starring role in any spacecraft-filled parking lot. And there just so happens to be a new Avatar movie coming out soon. Such interaction is meant to promote synergy between the vehicle and its occupants. Connecting with nature is a theme in Avatar, and we want the car to connect with its driver, Wagner said. The ultimate example of that is the non-existent steering wheel and pedals. No, there's no way to make a neuronic connection, as the Na'vi do with fauna on their homeworld. Rather, the car's movements correspond to inputs on a grippy illuminated nodule that rises from the center console. Its joystick-esque logic allows for conventional acceleration and steering but also lateral crabwalk motions enabled by the car's rear wheel steering. With a Mercedes engineer where the steering wheel should have been and us in what would normally be the passenger seat, we departed for a drive around the Lightstorm parking lot. The immediate impression was that this is galaxies away from a typical Mercedes. Headroom is limited, a towering Na'vi would find itself feeling squeezed. Ride quality was non-existent, those orb wheels are covered in only a few millimeters of solid rubber. Squeaks filled the cabin, and the hinges securing the doors seemed to be struggling. A strip of decorative trim shook loose and dangled off the A-pillar. Fortunately, the brand's standards are higher for its production cars. Even so, we couldn't stop grinning, this thing moved like nothing we've ever been in. As the engineer tilted the controller forward, the Vision AVTR's electric motors buzzed into motion. The car turned as he pivoted the controller, with huge degrees of rear wheel steering making the car feel like it spun around a central point. Little prepared us for what happened when he rocked the controller over and the Vision AVTR moved sideways as its wheels turned in phase. Then we had to go. No need to switch seats, simply grab the controller. This was an entirely unfamiliar way of driving, and stationary objects suddenly seemed uncomfortably close. Good thing the Vision AVTR tops out slightly above 10 miles per hour. But it didn't take long to become acclimated to the enhanced maneuverability and controls, which eventually felt surprisingly intuitive. With enough practice and electric power, it wouldn't be hard to get around like this. It even offers a hint at Mercedes-Benz's thinking with the large EQS rear wheel steering, which lends that humongous EV sedan surprising direction-changing capabilities in tight spaces, albeit no crab-walking magic.
We have come to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel to help us.